For This Week in Washington, I'm Brian Darling. Climate change is the big issue this week in Washington. The typical hurricane does about $5 billion worth of damage in America and strikes less than twice a year. Hurricane JJ, better known as the Senator Joe Lieberman and Senator John Warner climate change legislation, would rip through the U.S. economy, leaving higher energy costs, lost jobs, and falling family income in its wake. Add it up, adjust for inflation. And Heritage Foundation analyst David Kreutzer says that economic damage wrought by Lieberman-Warner would equal that of 660 hurricanes, 35 per year for 2 decades, a hurricane every week by 2030, 18 times the expected toll of natural hurricanes hitting the U.S. from 2012 to 2030. The Heritage Foundation has analyzed the Lieberman-Warner bill down to the level of your congressman's district. Ben Lieberman of the Heritage Foundation has written about 5 important arguments to combat the common myths about the Lieberman-Warner cap and tax bill before the Senate this week. Number 1, this bill will be expensive. Cumulative gross domestic product, GDP losses, could reach $4.8 trillion by 2030. 2, the costs of this legislation fall on the consumers, not industry. The bill will spur net job losses well into the hundreds of thousands and possibly nearing 1 million. Particularly hard hit is the manufacturing sector, where over 1 million jobs will be lost by 2022 and 2 million by 2027. Number 3, global warming is not a crisis that must be addressed at all costs. Overall, current and expected future temperatures are far from unprecedented and are highly unlikely to lead to catastrophes. Number 4, Lieberman-Warner does not effectively address the threat of climate change. At most, it would reduce the Earth's future temperature by 1 or 2/10 of a degree Celsius. Too small to even verify. Number 5, cap and trade is not a proven success. The European Union's cap and trade program is not meeting targets and is plagued by fraud. That's This Week in Washington. I'll see you next week. For more information, log on to heritage.org and stay tuned next week for more news and information.